Next, we took the walk-in to the Weathersfield Healthcare Center and had the staff there test the device. The Director of Rehabilitation, Kathleen Sullivan, had only positive things to say.
Currently, we have to do this kind of a thing and hold it in the middle because it's very unstable. And then we need a railing also. And then the person has to lift it up and make sure that all four legs are on there, and then again hold in the middle.
For individuals who are either temporarily disabled or permanently disabled, it would help them access their homes to get to doctor's appointments or to get to a job. If someone had arthritic hands or weakness in their hands, it was one button, so it is easy to push. It kept their the person can keep their balance while they're pushing the button, which was helpful as well. Sometimes people have like 8-inch step, then the next one's a 6-inch step. They're not all 8, 8, 8. So you can adjust it while you're in the middle of it, because Lindsay said otherwise you're adjusting it as you go. And it had a wide enough base of support. It was just the right weight. It wasn't too heavy, it wasn't too light where they would lose their balance, and it was much safer than our alternative methods for trying to get up and down stairs. Ironically, people who are ambulatory disabled, people who have difficulty walking, have a huge difficulty walking up and down ramps. Everyone thinks that ramps are more accessible. They are for people in wheelchairs, but people who have difficulty walking, ramps are much more difficult than stairs. So having this help them on the stairs is easier and safer than having them walk on a ramp. I've been a therapist for 17 years. I have not seen anything like this, and this is the first time I've seen a safe solution to this problem.
So let me take a second to compare a standard walker to the walk-in. While a standard walker is not very stable on stairs, the walk-in is extremely stable. For ease of use on the stairs, a standard walker is complicated and impractical, while the walk-in is very easy to use. Finally, the current walk-in is 4 times faster than our original prototype, which makes going up the stairs easy, safe, and very fast. I'd now like to welcome Matthew Thomas back up to the podium.
Thank you, Jeff. I would like to now talk briefly about the future of the walk-in and what we plan to do to make it portable, safer, and more universal. First, to make it portable, we would incorporate the actuators into the legs of the walk-in. This would allow the walk-in to be folded up for easy portability. Also, this eliminates the timing belt, and this increases the safety of the walk-in. And finally, to make it more universal, we would increase the stroke of the actuators, and this would allow the walk-in to adjust to a wider range of stairs. Now I'd like to just briefly recap what my teammates have said. First, we talked about research, how we came up with an idea, and the process that went into developing it. Next, we talked about the construction that went into building the walk-in and what the major components of the device were. We then elaborated on what those major components do and how the walk-in is incredibly safe. And finally, we talked about the testing we did and how we took the feedback we received to make the walk-in an even better product. So let's go back to the beginning. Does the walk-in meet our goals of increasing a person's mobility while helping them go up and down the stairs? Well, let's see. It can traverse stairs. It has the ability to be used as a standard walker. It has full stability both on stairs and on level surfaces, and it is super easy to use. In other words, the walk-in is a revolutionary product that dramatically improves the user's mobility. So that's the walk-in. Just one more thing, I would like to acknowledge our team members in the audience, Ben Grant, Alex Muchler, Tom Catricala, and Pervin Parikh, as well as our mentors Sue Fenley, Marty Grant, James Grisey, Ken Trufiro, and Don Weissman. Thank you.
Our battery life is extremely long. It lasts a few weeks. It can be easily recharged when it needs to, and so the battery life is we found out to be a couple weeks long because the user won't be pushing the button, for long extended periods of time. So the battery is a long-lasting battery. And then I have a follow-up to that question. When the battery dies, is there a manual release so it doesn't get stuck in one position? There is we like to call it EMA. It's Emergency Manual Access. if say the battery were to happen to die, which a person would know if they needed to start charging it because they would see some signs such as the legs of the walker would be moving a little bit slower. But if it were to die, then the user could disconnect the battery, and then they could remove the safety cover and manually move the timing belt, which would adjust the legs in case of an emergency where the battery does happen to die, and they do need to move the legs.
Can I follow up a little bit on the safety issue? You did talk a bit about having persons with disabilities with ambulatory challenges use this. How many people tried it out, and can you give us a little bit more information on that?
Well, we did test it on around 8 people at our high school, including Kathy and Johnny, 2 security guards, as well as around 8 people at the Weathersfield Healthcare Center who were staff and rehabilitation therapists also observed the walk-in use. And
so I'm sorry, let me just stop you there because I want to understand it better.
Yes.
Were those people, were they individuals with ambulatory difficulties or challenges, or were they people who wouldn't normally need a walker?
The people at the high school were people that needed to use a walker and needed to, help to get upstairs on a daily basis.
Okay, that's great. And how many of them?
8.
8, okay.
Am I understanding right? Those 8 people use walkers all the time?
What happens is they need help. They don't use a walker currently. Correct, because it's too difficult and it doesn't serve the purpose.
And I have a question about what happens when you add so much weight to the front of that walker. Does it change the center of gravity? And also, what you demonstrated in your videos was mostly people climbing the stairs. What happens when you're descending? Does that weight change the center of gravity significantly that will create a security or safety issue?
We took, as you saw, we took the walking to the Weathersfield Healthcare Center, and they said the weight really wouldn't do anything to the walker. They said it actually improves the stability of the walker, as well as improving stability, and it has the same warnings as a standard walker, so it should have the same center of gravity as the same thing as a standard walker.
Did you have anyone use it for an extended period of time, like all day or anything?
Can you repeat that question?
Did you have anyone use it all day or for an extended period of time to see what it was like?
I still can't.
We did have a couple people use it at their job all day at the high school with the spotters making sure they are not falling and if they had any questions on how to use it. So we did have, I think it was just 1 or 2 people use it all day at high school, yes.
How did you assess the impact of the additional weight of the attachments to the walker on a regular user?
Well, the additional weight is not much of a hindrance. If anything, it's actually an advantage because regular walkers are very light. They're very light. So the additional weight of walking adds to the stability. It's not much extra weight, so it's like that's not much at all. So they are able to lift it up the stairs and down the stairs, and it's very simple. The weight, if anything, is an advantage to the stability of the walker.
How can you say that the weight is an advantage when all the walkers try to be as light as possible? There's a reason why walkers are as light as possible, because people have to move them around all day, and especially the elderly.
Thanks again to all teams. What a great bunch of presentations.